Trump has been resigned to getting worse lawyers every single time he doesn't pay them. And it turns out they are betraying each other. So Bobb went on national television and waived her attorney-client privilege. Check out this video.
You did a lot you were there at Mar-a-Lago
right.
on the FBI raid. I know there's a lot of stuff that you can't say publicly, and there's some stuff you have said publicly. But can you you said a lot publicly. You've been on a lot of news outlets.
Yeah.
What is the latest with that? I mean, if people dropped out of that, cycle of news, what is the latest on that?
I mean, it's going through the courts, right? They've appointed a special master. They're going through the courts. The legal team is fighting that battle in court about who they got the special master appointed, and then whether they were allowed to, whether the Department of Justice was allowed to continue to review the classified documents while the appeal was going on. The 11th Circuit just ruled, I think it was today, just ruled that stay has been lifted, so the Department of Justice is now allowed to go through those documents. It may have been yesterday, but it's very recently. And so now they're in the court phase, the litigious phase of who's allowed to see what does it mean, was it all taken properly, was it not taken properly. That's gonna take some time to play out. So I mean, it's up to the legal team at this point. And I'll clarify a little bit. I think people were a little bit confused. I am on President Trump's legal team. I do work for him on election issues. I was never on the legal team handling this case, just to be clear on that, which is why, I came in as the custodian of records, because I wasn't on that team.
Right.
So I just want to clarify for people that thought I was doing both. I was not. I've never have been.
Bobb said on national TV that she was on his legal team about election issues, and she wasn't on any other legal team about the documents he stole. So she was waiving her attorney-client privilege. That means she has to answer questions about this. And she did. So it turns out Christina Bobb, the attorney who signed a letter certifying that all sensitive records in former President Donald Trump's possession had been returned to the government, spoke to federal investigators Friday and named 2 other Trump attorneys involved with the case, according to 3 sources familiar with the matter. She isn't a great lawyer. She isn't really all that smart since she decided to work for Twitter. However, she'll probably be a very good witness. The article goes on to explain a little bit more of her sheer stupidity. The certification statement, signed June 3rd by Bobb, indicated that Trump was in compliance with a May grand jury subpoena and no longer had possession of a host of documents with classified markings at his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida, according to 3 sources who do not want to comment publicly because of the sensitivity nature of the sprawling federal investigation. Their account corresponded with federal court records, though the Justice Department did not name her as the attorney who signed the statement or identified any others involved in its filings. It turns out that she didn't actually draft it. She was just the sucker that was tricked into signing it. And she went into the Justice Department to tell them exactly how it came about. Even though she committed the crime, signing it, knowing what she was doing, was dumb. Yes. She demanded that they add language saying that she didn't truly know that she was only signing this because other people told her so. Yes. Let's go on to what those secret sources are telling us. Instead, Trump's lead lawyer in the case at the time, Evan Korean, drafted it and told her to sign it. Bobb told investigators, according to the sources, Bobb also spoke to the investigators about Trump's legal advisor, Boris, who she said did not help draft the statement but was minimally involved in discussions about the records, according to the sources. So, Twitler's lawyers are setting each other up. This is not going to end well. The article goes on. Before Bobb signed the document, she insisted it be rewritten with a disclaimer that said she was certifying Trump had no more records based upon the information that she has been provided to me. The sources said of what she told investigators, Bobb identified the person who gave her that information as Corian, the sources said. She also had insisted on that disclaimer twice before she signed it, and one source who spoke with Bobb about what she told investigators, she is not criminally liable. She's not going to be charged. She is not pointing fingers. She is simply a witness for the truth. The certification said a diligent search was conducted for records requested in a May 11th grand jury subpoena, and that all relevant requested records were turned over. So, she is stupid. She signed a document that clearly she knows was a lie because she asked them to put in language that would allow her to be off the hook. And she's just simply a witness for the truth. So she's a witness against Twitler. Let's face it, if you're going to tell the truth, Twitler is in the line of fire. Pretending otherwise, which, she is trying to get away with, is just wrong. And really quite stupid. So for the record, a total of 325 records with classified markings Twitler stole from the United States government. 162 that had secret, 60 of them had top secret, and 103 had confidential. So Twitler's lawyers are turning on each other and turning on him. Now, the Justice Department has always avoided prosecuting the rich and the powerful. And that is what we're dealing with right now. Twitler is not really all that rich, but they're going to pretend he is. Because after you make a couple $1 million, the Justice Department decides, you're a good citizen, so we shouldn't mess with you. So if you like those videos, please help. The YouTube algorithm is horribly biased against, progressives. And the Republicans have massive amounts of money just to buy it off. So every time you like, every time you put a comment down below, helps us out. So like, subscribe, and if you really want to help the environment, down below is a link to a GoFundMe page where it has a brand new power generation that is 0% carbon emission and one of the cheapest productions of electricity the world has ever had. So go down, help us out.